Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie Esther here, and today we're going to talk about Chapter 30 teasers. First of all, I want to address this misinformation that was going around in the community. Apparently there was a rumor started that there was going to be a live stream reveal of the new contents today, and that didn't happen. And near as I can tell, it all originates from this tweet from Eric Pope here. So we had on this thread about the blighted cosmetics coming out for Sadako and Yoichi and the Xenomorph, that Eric had tweeted this out, and then people asked him, when's the live stream for Chapter 30? And then Eric responded, next stream is set for release, not reveal of the next chapter, FYI. So if you don't know who Eric Pope is, he is the community director, and we saw him on the last live stream and the one for the 7th anniversary as well. So he's someone who works for the game. And so when he said this, next stream is set for release, not reveal of the next chapter, for some reason people thought that this meant there was going to be a live stream reveal of Chapter 30. They misconstrued this. When I read this, I interpret it as saying that they're going to have another live stream in the future, yes, but it's not going to be until Chapter 30 is released. He's saying they're not going to live stream a reveal for Chapter 30. They have a live stream planned in the future after Chapter 30 is released. Somehow this got twisted, and people thought that Eric said that they were going to have a live stream that was going to reveal the contents of Chapter 30, which, you know, isn't the case and didn't happen. So, I mean, it could still happen, I guess, but I don't think it's going to happen. And to be honest, you know, Eric seems like a great guy, but he isn't going to be the one to deliver the message that there's going to be a live stream reveal of a chapter, right? Dead by Daylight would have on their official account, hey, make sure you tune in to our live stream on whatever date to see something cool, you know? It wouldn't all just come through Eric's Twitter account. They would want people to be there. They would be the ones who would tweet it themselves on the official Dead by Daylight channels. So, yeah, it's not going to come from Eric on one tweet. And so this got all twisted around. I actually had people who were talking to me in chat on my live stream asking me if I was going to live react to the live stream of the new content. I'm like, what are you all talking about? Did I miss a memo? And apparently this is the memo. And some other content creators ran with this as, hey, there's going to be a live stream reveal. No, didn't know. So, but we did get some information today that was very unusual. So Dead by Daylight, again on the official accounts, tweeted this and says, you wake up in this room, what do you do? Hashtag Saw. So this is obviously the infamous bathroom from the first Saw movie that we have in game, and the game map, Gideon's meat plant here, with these stills. Let's see, what does this alt text say? I didn't check any of this. A bathroom in the game. And what's this? Yes, both of them just say a bathroom in the game. So I looked at these images more closely, and I went into Dead by Daylight in a custom game with some bots to just compare the shots of this to what we see in game. Is there anything that's different? Any significant, noticeable spot the difference thing that could perhaps be a clue to future content? I even checked the clock in the game to see if the clock was the same, because I was thinking maybe they were going to put out some other tweet at the time on this clock that was going to lead to more, but I couldn't find anything that was different. And we see here that at the bottom they have these trademarks. The Saw franchise and all associated logos, characters, and elements are trademark of 2023 Lionsgate Entertainment, all rights reserved, and behavior 2015 to 2023 Dead by Daylight, yada yada yada. So I couldn't figure out anything. I didn't come up with anything on this, and the only thing I can think of is perhaps we might be getting some more characters tied to this franchise. So this isn't the only Saw tweet we've seen from Dead by Daylight lately. They had the Saw cosmetics sale not too long ago, and then last week they had this tweet here that said, me, I can't go out this weekend, I have plans, also me. And then they have Amanda as the pig in the Haunted by Daylight lobby here, with all those same trademarks down here. And then they did a variation of this on Brazilian Dead by Daylight Twitter here, where in Portuguese it says basically the same thing. I can't go out this weekend, I already have a commitment. Me on the weekend, and it has Amanda watching Jigsaw on the TV. And again, all of those trademarks here. So I thought that these were just most likely being a good partner and promoting the new Saw movie that was in theaters. But now I'm not so sure. This might be something else. Some people said, well, that cinches it. The next chapter, chapter 30, is going to be a Saw 2 chapter, which could be possible, but I'm not entirely positive about that. One thing that I speculated about, and I even commented as such on the tweet here, is that when they gave us the roadmap for the month, October 31st is notably absent here. And we're pretty sure that we're getting Naughty Bear on Halloween. And I don't know why they wouldn't want to promote that on the calendar. Why wouldn't they want that to be a calendar thing? Especially since on their live stream, they showed us the Naughty Bear Mori. And, you know, we've known for a while that he's coming. They confirmed on the Haunted by Daylight live stream, which was, what, about 2 weeks ago now, that he was coming. So why wouldn't they want to put that on the roadmap? And is there a reason why that is absent on the roadmap? Is Halloween a bigger day than we think for Dead by Daylight? One thing we do know is that's going to kick off the double blood hunt that they earned over in Japan for DBD Day. Is going to be double blood hunt, double blood points for a week around Halloween, beginning of Halloween there. And maybe there's more than Naughty Bear coming out. It made me think, could we be getting some other characters as legendary skins from the Saw franchise? And if we are getting more characters from the Saw franchise, either in a second Saw chapter or as legendary characters to go over Amanda Young and Detective Tapp in the existing Saw DLC, who would they be? Obviously, top of the list would be the man himself, John Kramer, but there are a few others that people have asked for as well. Peter Strahm, Lawrence Gordon is a very popular pick. He's actually the one that you see in the on the ground in the tweet here. That's Lawrence Gordon right there. So maybe that's the clue itself, is that Lawrence Gordon is coming as a playable character in the game, as a legendary for Detective Tapp. Who knows? Other picks would be Allison Carey. Many people have asked me for years for Mark Hoffman. That would be a fan favorite as well. Other than that, perhaps Eric Matthews. I'm not so sure about this one. An interesting tidbit about Eric Matthews is that when they were originally coming up with the concept for the Saw DLC, the survivor was supposed to be Detective Eric Matthews, and for whatever reason that changed. But there are still remnants of this in the code where it refers to portions of Tapp's character in the game coding as Eric, and people were like, who is Eric? But that's because the survivor was initially meant to be Eric Matthews. Other ones that we've seen, like this Officer Daniel Rigg, I kind of think like the one cosmetic for Tapp is Daniel Rigg-like already with his leather coat. So I don't know how deep they would go on this, but I think the top picks would definitely be Hoffman, Lawrence Gordon, and John Kramer. At the very least. I think those would be my top three. Do you agree with that? So what do I make of all this? Do I think that the next chapter is Saw 2 for Chapter 30, a second Saw DLC? I'm not sure. Could it be? Certainly. It certainly could be. It's very interesting that they're teasing us with this stuff. Does it go deeper than just being a good partner and promoting Saw stuff for people who are interested in the new Saw movie in theaters? I'm not sure. I think there is something here, but I'm not entirely sure that it is a second DLC. We know that the chapter coming out is going to be killer only, and that it's coming out in the month of November, according to the roadmap. And so allowing for 3 weeks from the beginning of a public test build to release, probably the latest that you could release that would be on November the 7th to get the chapter out on November the 28th, right? Some people think that on Halloween there's going to be a PTB. I don't think that would be the case, but you never know, I suppose. Plus, it would disrupt the event. So I think more likely we're looking at a November 7th public test build and a November 28th release date. But this is just me guessing. I don't know for sure. So, also, we know that it's an iconic license. So let's go back to one of these Dead by Daylight live streams here, and we'll listen to this bit.
The next 2 killers that will follow after that are going to be licensed, and I would say licensed with a big L if I can. Really iconic additions to the game. Extremely excited to be able to talk a little bit more about that. Unfortunately, a little too early today to be able to do that.
Okay, so iconic licenses with a big L, and they show the roadmap here, which shows you that the chapter is a new killer in November. So again, they have to fit it into that schedule to stay on schedule. And license with a big L, iconic, meaning like when I hear this phrase, license with a big L, to me in my mind, it means a franchise that my mom knows who it is, my wife knows who it is, that it's very well known, iconic characters with the big L in license. And I have pushed my chips in since Alien was announced that the next one would be Predator, just because they seem to go hand in hand. People always said that you couldn't get Disney to work with Dead by Daylight because Dead by Daylight was too small of a behavior, was too small of a studio to work with them, and Disney only works with the best, and yada yada yada. But anyway, they made it happen. They already had an existing relationship with Disney, having made games for Monsters Inc. and things like that. So they had an existing relationship with Disney for a long time, and I just think the way they describe this, it seems like they go hand in hand to me. And Disney owns 20th Century Fox, which owns both Alien franchise and the Predator franchise. And we've even seen in the Alien DLC that the license seems to encompass multiple movies, one of them being Aliens versus Predator, in which the Predator nets one of the aliens and it burns through the exoskeleton, and we have the blood coming out, the green blood coming out of the xenomorph to make that net grid pattern on its skull, which is where the grid alien comes from, is from Aliens versus Predator. So if they have the licensing for stuff from Aliens versus Predator, it seems like it only makes sense to me that they can get Predator from the same license holder that they got the xenomorph alien from. So I have for a long time said, well, it's going to be Aliens and Predator both, boom, bang, back to back, bang, bang. But we'll see what happens. Anything is on the table, I suppose. But, you know, as long as it's iconic with the big L, right? And then people would say, well, you know, if it was Predator, wouldn't you want to have Dutch Arnold Schwarzenegger as a corresponding survivor for that chapter? I'm not sure if there's any kind of hiccups with that, why you wouldn't do that. If it's a problem to get a Schwarzenegger license, or, you know, you could have like a good enough, like you have for Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley, we have a good enough version as Ellen. Could we get a good enough Dutch? Why wouldn't they want to put a Dutch in? Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see what happens here, but this is where we're at on these teasers. But I want to hear from you. Let me know, what do you think about this? Does this Saw stuff mean anything? Even if this isn't what it means, if it doesn't mean a Saw 2 chapter or Saw Legendary skins, are Saw Legendary skins something you would want to see? Would you want to see a Dr. Gordon? Would you want to see a Mark Hoffman? Who would be on the top of your list for legendary characters as additional skins for the Saw franchise DLC as it exists, over the top of Amanda and Detective Tapp? I want to know about all of that from you. What do you think about any of the stuff that I have presented you with here today? Do you have an alternate theory? Lay it all on me. I always enjoy hearing from you. But that's all I have to show you today. Let me know what y'all think, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel a ton. Don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody. Happy Halloween. Bye-bye.
It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life.